This is Unlock Podcast, your first stop if you're a business owner in Kigali or passionate business.
Your business won't be the same as you're at the right spot where we help businesses unlock their untapped potential, grow their business, and become monumentally successful.
From the business secrets known by few, copywriting secrets, and the unique marketing strategy that make all the difference and set you apart from the rest of Kigali.
So, stay tuned and get ready to unlock your business potential like never before, right here on the Unlock Podcast with Salvatore and Hussein every Wednesday.
Welcome back to Unlock Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about storytelling and how storytelling helps businesses grow in this bustling market. Today, I'm with my friend Hussein. Hussein,
Yes, sir.
how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Today, we have a huge part of marketing, which is storytelling. And today, I want to dive deep, me and you, and you will help us and our audience to learn how storytelling can help your business grow in this market in Kigali. So, Hussein, I want to start by asking you, what are the why? Why storytelling? Why storytelling in business? We normally see storytelling parents tell stories when kids are going to bed. Then, how is storytelling in business? Why? Why do we need it?
Thank you very much. Let me start by talking about what you just said about how parents, when we were kids, parents used to tell us stories, or imigani, in other words.
Yeah.
And the sole purpose of these stories was to help us adapt a certain behavior. We can also look at the scriptures, Bible, Quran. We have a lot of stories inside because stories, they play a very significant role in the human's behavior and evolution. So we can say that stories help people change how they think, adapt some new mentality, new ways of life, and leave behind some bad habits. Also, stories are used to influence people to shift how they think, how they approach certain things in life. So I think storytelling also is applied to business because it helps business owners to engage with their customers by helping them change their belief about the business, about the products.
Yeah.
In that sense, if I may say so.
It helps businesses to change the belief they have about the businesses.
They believe the customers may. Let me tell. The business owners may use stories to help the audience feel more connected and related to the story of the brand. And if there's something which is very important in business, is to make sure that your audience, they trust you, they think that you want the best for them, and they can relate to your story, to their lives, so that they can be more interested in what you're selling or what you have to offer.
Okay. Then in that case, how does it benefit the business? Storytelling. Let's say I'm a business owner and I need to sit down, try to come up with a story, whether it's mine or it's of one of our customers, to implement it through our marketing messages. How is it going to benefit my businesses?
Thank you very much. Also, let me say about what you said when asking me the question. Most of the time, you see that businesses use their clients' stories, how they managed to help a person X to achieve certain things in their lives and to escape or to leave behind something that was bothering them in terms of their services. We say service X helped a person Y to live a wonderful life and to leave behind things that were not good. People in general, they like to hear these things because people do not believe just like that. They want proof.
Yeah.
And by giving out stories, it can be a proof that, yeah, our business, our company, we have helped several people to change their lives. And here are the testimonials, here are the stories, what they're saying about our businesses, and people can change their belief about your product. And they can believe that you can do the same for them. This is their first thing. And also, this means that the more people believe you, the more money you will get in terms of selling your products.
Yeah.
I think this is the main benefit. Also, to be able to connect on a deeper level with your audience. I think these are the benefits that businesses get from providing good stories to the audience.
Actually, I have a story I would like to tell maybe at the end of the episode about one of my favorite artists, Taylor Swift, how he used storytelling to, to make her career grow. He has made billions in her latest show. Toward he has made during, and he has like that sense deeper connection with her fans that they are waiting to follow her wherever she is
because of stories.
Yeah, when he's during the tour or show, he take like 5 minutes telling story how she loved her songs, and fans go like, and she is a very good storyteller. Maybe we will talk about in details about her and how she uses her stories to connect more with her customers. But what I would like to ask you, I said she is a good storyteller. So let me ask you, what makes a good story? What are the components of a good story?
Okay, thank you. Normally, I'm going to talk about about the businesses, what they should care about when writing stories. But before we do that, we have things that we should do first before we start writing stories. Because you can ask yourself, okay, I'm going to write a story. You can be a good storyteller, but when you are telling the story when the story you're telling does not resonate to the audience you're trying to affect or impact in real life, then it doesn't matter how good your stories are. At the end of the time, your stories won't make any impact. So, first of all, if someone wants to write a good story, they have first of all to go down and learn about the basics, who am I going to tell my story? Who is this person I'm trying to impact? So that's the first thing. Have to know the audience very well. And when you say audience, two things you have to understand about your audience is the pains and also motivators. These are two things that scientists and studies has shown that these two things help in intriguing people to take action.
Okay, I understand pain. How about motivators?
Motivators, okay. Things people want in life. Someone may wake up and think to themselves that I have this wonderful life structured in my head. I can't afford to die without having all these experiences. And this can be their motivators to wake up and do things.
Okay, these are like desires.
Yeah, these are things they want in life. They are craving for. Things they dream of at night. These are the motivators. And the pains, things that are bothering them.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing about the audience. Once you know these two things about your audience, it's easy to talk to them, to connect by your stories. So this is the first thing. The second is, in your stories, actually, normally you have a character of the story. The story is about a person. And you have to make sure that the character of the story resonates with the audience. This is very, very important. Another thing when you're writing stories for the business, it's you have to make sure that, because most of the times business says we write stories that will be in a written form. You will not be able to go, most of the time you have to write it so people can read it. Also, this comes with a good headline. Okay? Things that will make your audience feel inside like they want to read this, something you are talking about, their desires or their pains, so they can resonate. As a headline, they are intrigued or they are curious about reading the whole story. Once you have a good headline structured, then let's start about the story. How do you start writing a story for your business? Okay, the first thing is the story is composed of two parts. The first part of the story is it shows the pain, all the struggles. Maybe if let me take an example of someone who was obese, fat, big, and now they're in a good shape. And this person has started a business of helping other people facing the similar challenges to help them lose weight and become fit. If you are going to write a story, you have to start by the pains. How was your life before getting into shape? You talk about how life was very hard, how you was not comfortable, your confidence was very low, things that other obese or fat people who want to lose weight can relate to. You have to start by that, and you make sure that you go into details, things that someone can read and feel like, wow, this is me in real life. This is me. This is the first part of the story. The second part is your current state. Now you're in shape. You're living a wonderful life. Your confidence is at the roof. Everything is going smooth. And now what you're doing is you're tapping into their dreams, what they want. And also they think like when they're reading the story, oh man, this is what I want in life. I want to be like this guy. Then what you don't write is how you achieved it in the story. You leave the gap into between. And so you have tapped into their pains, they are talking about their desires, and you leave something which they can't afford to know right now because you want to use it later to the advantage of the business. Now they will remain wondering, how did this guy achieve all of these things? What are the secrets that he used? You see, now here you have the audience, you have grabbed them by the attention. They are curious, they want to know because they are bothered, they want to change their lives. Then you go to the last part of the story, which is call to action. So now you want the audience to do something. You can say that if you want to achieve what I have, if you want to go from fat and big and obese to fit like myself, click this link and then click this link. You see, now you are trying to direct the audience to take an action, which you can later direct to one of your pages where you sell something, or your membership package, or coaching, something like that. So this is how you structure the story that can resonate with the audience.
And just to recap for our listeners, the first part is the current state, which is where your audience is.
No, their current state.
Yeah, their current state, where their current is. If there's a person who wants to, he still has like a lot of weight that he don't or she don't want, and then there is a second part, which is where he wants to be.
Yes.
Then there is something here, which is like a bridge, which you leave for your advantage as a business. A gap. Then you call them to action.
Yes.
To provide that gap, to fill the gap.
To know something that helped you.
To from step one to then to
Step two
to step two.
is
Okay. Then, Hussein, what is some of the mistakes that people make when they are writing those stories that will resonate deeply with their customers?
thank you. The first mistake people make is they try to use characters in the story that do not resonate with the audience. As I said before, if you're addressing an audience, but the main character of the story does not resonate with them, as I said, the example I said, the business owner was obese. Now he's in wonderful shape. And other people who are facing the similar challenges can resonate with his story. This is the first thing. If you cannot do that, then your story will lack a key component. The second thing is people like to write pages and pages of stories, but to be honest, it's rare to see a
We don't
person.
have time for that.
Yeah, people do not like to read long things. You have to be short. Use what we call the miniskirt rule.
What is it? Miniskirt.
Yeah, the miniskirt rule is you have to be brief enough to. I forgot about it. But the thing is, you have to be short enough to cover important things, but long enough to think. You have to be short enough to make things entertaining, but short enough to cover the important things, if I may. The miniskirt rule, it says that. So this is something you can apply to your stories. The miniskirt rule says that your story should be short enough to make things entertaining, but long enough to cover all the important things,
Okay.
like a miniskirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the second thing. And the third thing is call to action. You, uh, you have to maintain the smoothness of the story. The story must be coherent from first paragraph to the second to the call to action. It must be something that flows very nice in the eye of the reader. You don't want to mix things up so it looks awkward. It must be smooth. I think if you do this, also to know to write long headlines of the story, it's not also too bad. So all of these are the mistakes. If someone can make sure that they avoid these mistakes, yeah, the story will be very great.
Yeah. Let me talk about the first mistake you 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 talked about, which is by people telling stories which are irrelevant to their customers. And I see in some of the ads that are being run on digital platform like Facebook, Instagram, you see like a person is trying to advertise his dry cleaner businesses, and he's using like a model who is like white man, and she tends to attract customers who are in Kigali or Kasabo, and most of the time we think it's not for us, and it's not even that those people. I don't know, most of people use the images who are like white people, and imagine
Yeah, why?
how am I going to relate that? But if you find like everywhere, you cannot miss any photo of black man or black young guy who is from in our neighborhood, and make photo of him and try to use it instead of you going online and take picture of white guy who is somehow I will not
If
like
you use
that.
the technique to look more real, because
Yeah,
you can see someone who is real, like a picture that you've took, which is very clear. You see, this is real.
yeah,
It's not like something you took from, websites on internet.
yeah.
It looks very real.
Okay, Hussein, thank you for your wisdom in this episode, but in the end, I want you to give some advice to the people, to the fellow copywriters, to everyone, business owners, copywriters, and other people whose job is to write, or who can use writing to their advantages. What can you say to
Well,
them?
what I can say is people, mostly businesses in Kigali, they are not using stories to change the beliefs of their audience or their ideal customers. So I would like to encourage everyone to learn how to write stories. We've talked about it, but that was a summary. There's more to that people can learn, and to be honest, if they use stories, people do not understand how stories can change people's mind. Stories can change people's mind on a level that you cannot think about. So I want people to use stories, and if you don't have time for that, we can do it for you. You can find someone who can do it for you, but make sure that your business has a story, what we call, like your brand has a story. And if you do that, to be honest, you're going to see a lot of changes in your business. People are going to believe you more. Excuse me. People are going to believe you more in what you have to offer. People are going to love you because they can resonate. They know that you understand where they're coming from. You don't judge them, things like that. So it's very important. And I encourage everyone who have services they are offering to make sure that. And another thing, maybe yourself, you're helping people, but you haven't faced the similar challenges they're facing your audience. But you can take one of your customers that you have helped and use him or her as a story of your business. Take her and write a story about her, how she transformed her life or his life, and use that as the story of your business. It's all possible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sen. And I feel like we need another episode where we can talk about, like, there is like a framework which is simple, which I have seen that people in businesses that use mostly to make their marketing message, their marketing story so easy that people can understand what they stand for. And there is this quote I have heard, and I'm not sure I'm going to paraphrase that: business is not hero, but customer is a hero in the story. So in every story that you tell, you must make your customer feel important, feel like he or she is a hero. So that is the purpose. Sometimes if you see the businesses are talking about, we provide excellent services. We do that. It's about them. It's not about the customers, their clients. So you need to make your customers feel important, feel that they are honored to be your customers. So that is something we would like to talk about in another episode. There's a framework which is called 7B framework, which you can use. I feel like we need to do another episode about storytelling so that people can try to implement it in their businesses.
Absolutely, we can do that. And what you said is very important. Very, very, very important. Thank you very much. Yeah. We can do this. Let's do that episode also.
Yeah. Thank you, Sen, for coming here and do this episode and share all of this wisdom today, our listeners. Thank you.
Thank you very much also for hosting me. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you for listening us to at the end of this episode. And if you leave a review, it will be good. If you leave a review, it will be great. Leave a comment, share with a friend, and try to follow us on other digital platforms.
Instagram, Unlock Podcast, YouTube, Unlock Podcast,
and even on Spotify, Amazon, everywhere. Try to follow us.
Please support us.
See you next week.
Thank you very much.